Yo, what's good, guys? And welcome to another episode of the Altcoin Bosses. My name is Tino. Let's have a conversation, guys. All right, then. So today's topic, I'm going to be talking about 5 coins that have got the potential to show us some interesting behavior during the month of November. All right. Now, these are predominantly altcoins, and looking at the start of the month so far, these coins have actually made some serious gains. All right. But the main thing that I'm looking for is for how long are these gains going to be sustainable for? Is it just a little fluke by these coins? Is it just a pump, or is it a dump? Who knows? But what we're going to be looking for is certain points in the chart that if they respect particular zones, then we can expect these coins to move higher. As always, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, show some mad love and be sure to like and subscribe at the end of the video. All right, so let's roll with it. So the first coin that's come to my attention, ladies and gentlemen, is C98. All right, now listen, this coin, during Bitcoin's descent earlier on today and across the board, C98 has been showing some very interesting behavior. Now, we understand something. We get that in order for them to get price cheaper at the highest possible point, they need to move it higher so that they can get it cheaper lower. And the same principle's been happening right here. Now, this coin is a little bit volatile. As you can see, we've got the big wick to the upside, okay, which they then fully recovered, and then they've moved back down again. Now, what you want to be paying attention to with this coin as well, ladies and gentlemen, is the following. The fact that for quite some time, this coin has had a history of just being able to move higher, come down, move higher, drop down. But every time it moves up and pulls back down again, it finishes higher. So we are establishing momentum in this coin. All right. Now, what's also interesting, the fact that they are consolidating in and around this zone, about the $3.50 mark, where they formed the pattern and now they've shifted out of the zone. Naturally, we expect something to happen. And that something is the retrace continuation to the upside. Because we've come away from a pattern like so, we are expecting them to move high, move price, come back down, stabilize, bring things back into the fray, and then start another journey of consolidation where they could potentially make another move higher. So keep an eye out on C98 for this consolidation zone whilst it's developing the potential to move higher later on. Looking at the higher time frames, such as the daily, you can see bright as day what we've got, and we have got some interesting behavior. Price is, even though this is quite a new coin, it's just about formed its 50 EMA. All right, so very soon, even though it did spike towards $6.45, 44, we are likely to see the recovery of these wicks. So keep an eye out for C98, man. This coin does look very promising. Okay. I'm going to talk about Solana. Now, the only reason I'm talking about Solana is because Solana's done a fantastic job of holding its gains, given with what's happened today across the board. Okay, last night you could have seen that Solana was actually making higher ground, and she started to accumulate in this area. She's pulled back ever so slightly, but the 5 and 13 EMA right now are crossing. All right, so we've got to be aware of that. If Solana comes back down towards its daily open, that is where we should see some interesting behavior. But I'm expecting Solana to actually form a pattern, rise, retrace, continuation. Be mindful, ladies and gentlemen. Solana is quite treacherous in the sense where if it's going to go and test any key moving averages, it won't hesitate to go down to those zones. If you look at the 4-hour time frame itself, you can see it's so far away from the 50 EMA, and it seems to have a tendency to come back and test it. The last time it tested it, it showed the W formation, made the rise away from the pattern, retrace, accumulated, and then shifted out of the zone. We are naturally expecting them to pull things back ever so slightly. As you can see, they've recovered the vector candle, but now they're trying to pull back from it. So as long as Solana holds in and around the 5 and the 13 EMA, things are likely to be promising for this. And we could actually see the $250 per coin for Solana. All right. So keep an eye on Solana right there, guys, because she's showing movement to the upside. And remember, they need to bring it down lower, okay, to get it cheaper, and they will move price higher to do so. All right, cool. The next coin I want to have a look at is Beta. Beta, just out of nowhere, okay, has just not stopped moving today. All right, it's been spiking up and down, but it's coming out of this zone. Now, if we look at the 4 hourly, you can see it's quite a new coin. All right, and it hasn't recovered all of this candle. I mean, I'm hoping that this coin actually stabilizes given the fact that it has hardly any history, but it's the start of something that is going to flourish purely off the price action itself. Now, is this just because things were moving to the upside? Why has beta been holding out? All right. Now, what you've got to be aware of is this. The fact that the 50 EMA has just not so long ago been printed, to say that it's going to show support at this point, the next time it comes down to test it, it may be a little bit far-fetched. So what you need to be aware of is just how price behaves moving forward. Keep an eye out on this because we do have a pool of liquidity up here that they may want to come to, which will hit at the $2.59. But other than that, it may look like we could see and beta move higher towards the $3 zone before we start to see a little bit of a retrace. So keep that one in mind for your watch lists as well. Comp has just been doing different things, ladies and gentlemen. It has not stopped. Okay, this may be news orientated, but I always like to refer to the charts to make sure I am clear with the intention, because whatever news has come out has of course influenced price moving up to the upside anyway, so you would have missed the move. Okay, remember, market makers, they will get the information regarding the coin beforehand. All right, they're the liquidity providers, so they're going to be ready for an amount of liquidity to flush through. Now, they need to set their orders in beforehand, okay, because then that way they're not going to capitalize on traders taking advantage of a move to the upside based on any news that's come out by Compound. Okay. Now, looking at the chart, you can see we've got a previous pool of liquidity all the way over here at 420. All right. And we've got this vector candle right now that has been realized. Be mindful, whenever we hit a vector zone, we are always expecting price to come back and retrace to test the intention of this move that it does favor higher prices. We are breaking through the 800 EMA. Naturally, we are expecting a retrace from this point. When that retrace occurs, we could see a little bit of a consolidation because you can see how comp likes to consolidate every time it peaks at a point in the chart. Okay. So keep comp in mind for your charts as well, ladies and gentlemen. Sand itself, guys, look, it's not stopping. Now, this could be a little bit of a short-term play, but I'm expecting a retrace from Sand. It's just gone beyond normal behavior. Just look at that. Completely blowing it out. Of course, NFT-based orientated, if I'm correct, but you can understand that the interest in this coin is very favorable. What you want to be aware of, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Look at the daily candles. You can see that every time they come to the trading day, they spike up, pull back. Next day, they spike up, pull back, and they keep on spiking and pulling back. Look at this. Spiked up, came back, now it's moving back up again. If you're going to be trading this coin, ladies and gentlemen, always, always, always be mindful, all right? Keep an eye out on the retraces to the 50 EMA. Every time it expands away from it, retrace, continuation up. Retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation, retrace, and the rest is history. Until it breaks below the 5 and the 13 EMA and closes below the 50, that is when things may start to turn for them to come back and recover these previous vectors, because you can see they're doing a good job of not coming back to those zones. If you look, you can see that point right there. You've got this zone right here, and now you've got this zone as well, but you can see ever so closely that the market maker has already tapped that pool of liquidity. So this is the next zone right here, which they could be looking to accumulate from and then try and come back up. Okay, so those 5 coins we have got. The first one was, we had Solana, we had Sand, we've had Comp, we've had Beta, and we've had C98. Those are the 5 coins, in my opinion, that are potentially going to be making some very interesting moves. Keep an eye out on them, all right? Don't blindly trade them. Let them show you the reason to believe that things are going to move in the direction that we want, all right? If they do favor higher prices, keep an eye out for the following. Make sure that you're seeing clear deviations away from the 50 EMA, and when they come back down towards it, that they move away from it with conviction. Okay? Do not trade against the trend. Let them establish the markup phase and the markdown phase, because right now the market maker is building shorts at key notable areas so that he can initiate preparations for him to drop price. Now, these coins, as much as they are altcoins, they do trade light. They don't have that much liquidity in them. So what I'm saying is they could actually drop quite aggressively. All right. So please be mindful of that and be cautious when you're trading with leverage. All right. Because these coins, if you don't give your coin a chance to move, okay, your your liquidation point is going to get tapped. All right? Try and use minimal leverage and just experience being in the trade. Get used to the idea of the coin. Pick 5 coins, 10 coins, whatever you want it to be. The less coins you pick, the better it is that you're going to have an understanding of how they move when Ethereum moves, when Bitcoin moves. You're going to understand the disparity in when to trade it and when not to trade it. You're going to appreciate when they do bring price back down to the 50 EMA. If the total market cap is showing support at that point, what are the chances of support coming into the coin that you've been trading for the past X, Y, and Z? Yeah? So keep an eye out on that basis, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Be sure to like and subscribe, guys, and pass through to tonight's live where we summarize today's behavior in the charts. All right? Mad love and respect to all of you guys. Take care. Peace.